What's up, guys? Lewin here at GarageBand and Beyond. Welcome back. Today, I'm going to be talking about preamps. I'm going to be talking about cheap preamps and sort of my relatively new opinion on single-channel preamps that run in sort of the $100 range. Now, I have this one right here. This is the PreSonus Tube Pre. This is a single-channel, single-tube little preamp, and it's got a drive and a gain knob and phantom power, and that's about it. When I bought this, it was specifically because I had the original M-Audio Fast Track, which had no phantom power, and I discovered that I could buy one of these used for less money than an actual phantom power supply. So I got this for that purpose, and it worked beautifully. And then I upgraded to a different interface, which had phantom power, and this suddenly became a redundant piece of equipment, and it hasn't been used all that much. Every now and then I'll use it for this microphone right here, the SM7B, because this is a very low output microphone, and sometimes it needs a little bit of help getting over the edge, and that's where I have used this in the past. But really, I don't use this very much at all. And the other thing that's a big competitor, or the other very popular one to this, is the ART, which is another single channel in the $100 neighborhood. So that's what I'm talking about. Single channel preamps that are in the $100 area. Okay. So first thing I'm going to say, if you're interested in that, but if you're interested in it to make your recording sound better, thumbs down. That's not going to happen. These don't do that. These really, as much as they try to market it, and I feel bad because I made a video a long time ago sort of talking about this, and I just sort of went off of like the PreSonus literature or whatever. I was just starting my YouTube channel, and I probably ranted and raved a little bit too much about this. It does an excellent job for what it is, but it doesn't the low end's not going to get better. The high end isn't going to smooth out or anything fancy like that. In reality, if you're a beginner recording engineer, you could plug this in and you would never hear the difference. 9 out of 10 times, the beginner would not hear what one of these little preamps is doing. And that really goes even up until the more expensive preamps for beginning engineers. Your ears just haven't been trained to the sensitive and minute nuances that come with this compounding, would come with new equipment, you just won't hear it. All right. So don't buy this thinking, oh, this is the problem solver to all my issues. I want more low end out of my voice, or more, the highs are too brittle and I want to smooth them out. I'm going to buy a $100 preamp and fix that. That's not going to happen. However, there are 3 very good reasons to buy this, and I've already spoken about one of them. If you have an interface that has no phantom power, buying one of these used is really cheap and certainly less expensive than a phantom power supply. So that's reason number 1. Reason number 2, I already mentioned, if you have a low output microphone that you would like to get more gain out of, you can add a preamp like this to it and push it over the edge. The third reason, which I think is super cool actually, is if you have one of those 2-channel interfaces that, PreSonus makes a couple of them, also Focusrite makes them, M-Audio makes them, a bunch of people make 2-channel interfaces that only have 2 XLR inputs. However, a lot of them have 1/4-inch inputs on the back. So there might be 2 or 4 1/4-inch inputs on the back of your interface. If you were to buy a couple of these things, you would suddenly find yourself with 2 extra channels of XLR input, because this does have 1/4-inch output. So you could just take the unbalanced out of this and go directly into the input on the back of your whatever interface. And suddenly you'd have, you'd increase your number of XLR inputs, and that would be super cool. So those are the 3 reasons that I think, if you're looking for one of these, those are the applications that they're really good for. Now, the other thing is to remember, though, that when you buy your interface, every time you're turning that volume knob, you are turning a volume knob on a preamp. There are preamps inside of every interface. And that's something that I can't stress enough. Every interface, every time you're plugging an XLR into an interface with a volume knob, there is a preamp in there already. And that's why you read the words award-winning preamps inside of this interface, because there are already preamps. So don't think that you're buying your first preamp by any means. If you're getting one of these, you already have one in your interface, and 9 out of 10 times for home recording, it is totally fine. All right. So the next thing is, what do I like as far as preamps. At what price point do you really have to start spending money? Unfortunately, that's in the like bare minimum $350, $400 range and up. And really, it's I'm sorry, but that just, you got to spend a lot of money if you really want to get a preamp that really is like, wow, that's awesome. Now, if you have the money and you want to do that, here are the companies that I like. Avalon makes a single channel that's great. Focusrite, anything Focusrite is awesome, and I know that their little single channel, the ISO thing, is very good, especially for the money. So, what was that? Avalon, Focusrite. And then the other one that is sort of newer, at least to me, on the market, I think it's called Golden Age preamps. And I know that there's some sort of connection between Golden Age and Avantone microphones, and I haven't quite figured out what it is. It might just be that the same person owns both. I don't know. But I know that they have been making a lot of waves out there, and because they're making a $300 preamp that a lot of real, reputable and professional engineers are talking about this Golden Age stuff. And I know that it's based off of Neve technology from the 60s and all that kind of stuff, but I haven't tried one myself yet. I have tried the Avalon, I have tried the Focusrite, and I know for a fact that, that there's a reason that so many people have those things, because they're so good. So anyway, so that's it. Avalon, Focusrite, and Golden Age are right now my top three. That happens to change every few years. Who I like I used to like the PV preamp back in the day. They used to make the VMP2. I don't know if any of you know that, but it was a big 2-channel. It had like 16 tubes in it. It was a really great, seriously underrated preamp. If you can find a used PV VMP2, buy one of those if it's cheap enough for you. Last thing about this video, I want you guys, and I'm asking you, please list in the comment below if you've bought one of these things and you were like, you agree with me, then write it down. Or let's put it this way. If you've bought a preamp and you loved it, please write it down so we all know what that is. But if you bought one and you were like, that was a huge scam and I wasted a ton of money, please write that down as well, because I would love for this comment area of this video to become sort of a forum where people can come to learn about cheap preamps, for their first preamp in their home recording studio, or their first external preamp. I gotta stress that. So that's it. Please leave comments below, because I want to know what you guys like, and I want to know what you guys hate as well. So that's it. And I'm really sorry if I made the video that I made about this a long time ago, if that convinced any of you guys to buy it. I don't know. It was the beginning of my channel, and I was just, I don't know. Maybe I was mistaken about how awesome this was in the early days of my home recording studio days. Now I think it does serve a purpose, but I wouldn't recommend buying it for making your recording sound better. That's for sure. Okay, so there's your fair warning, you guys. Thanks for watching. As always, please subscribe to my channel and check out my website if you're interested in getting the very free home recording studio shoppers list. If you want to know an itemized or have an itemized list of everything to buy for your very first home recording studio, go to GaragebandandBeyond.com and you will see there's a big red button in the middle. You click on it, sign up, get the list. Easy peasy. I'll talk to you later. Bye.